So, you guys are now listening to another episode of the Real Estate Wholesaling Syndicate podcast. Super excited to have Travis Wells with me here today. Travis, thank you so much for joining, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man. So, if you guys haven't listened to it before, we're going to start the interview portion. At the end, we'll transition to a Q&A. So, if you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments, and we'll make sure we get them answered for you. But just to start, Travis, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Travis Wells. I live in Canyon Lake, Texas. Before that, I lived in Spring Branch for a few years, and then Corpus Christi prior to that. Families from North Carolina. Pretty much was in oil and gas for 14 years. Bought a ton of single families, some mobile home parks, motel, commercial stuff. In the meantime, now I'm a full-time real estate investor slash wholesaler. So yeah, that's me, man, in a nutshell.
That's badass, man. So I want to talk about. I know a lot of people want to make the transition. They're doing it, but they kind of want to get into it full time. How is that transition for you? And you want to kind of walk us through how that went down?
Yeah, man. So it was a pretty crazy transition because I was making a lot of money as a vice president of um, excuse me. I was a vice president of an oil and gas company. It was a service company, and I worked my way up from driving a 18 wheeler. No education. Went to their in house school to be an engineer. Went through the whole thing. Used to wire explosives, do all the fracking stuff. Worked up to vice president and realized it wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I had learned a lot of skills going through that. So I think those were necessary to get to where I wanted to be, especially in business, being at a corporate level, oil and gas exec, it set me up. But that cush paycheck was nice because, you work 6 hours, 8 hours a day and you get that cush paycheck. And then transitioning on your own, as well as I do, it's like nonstop. It's a grind 24/7. So that transition was a little different, but I'm really happy I did it. So I think I did it right. I think I kind of gradually worked my way out of it instead of just jumping off the deep end. I know a lot of people
Mhm.
have this, I call it a misconception, but maybe some people need to do it. But I gradually worked my way out of that instead of just saying, "Oh, screw it, I'm going full time. Let's see what happens. Roll the dice."
Yeah. No, it definitely makes sense. I think that's definitely the smarter way to do it. I did the opposite way. I'm not that smart, so I just jump in and make rash decisions. So, but no, I think if you have the opportunity and you're making good money and you're at a position that you working at, I mean, why not do it part time and ease your way into it? But no, I love that, man. So that's you guys have been crushing it with wholesaling. And how long you guys been full time now wholesaling?
2 months.
It's
So
wild, dude.
yeah, dude, it's freaking nuts. Like, when I was wholesaling here and there. I think I
Mhm.
told you just kind of dabbling in it because I started out buying properties. And I didn't even know what wholesaling was, but I was doing it. I was just closing on them. I was
Mhm.
pulling my list from List Source back in the day. I'd call tons of people when I'd get off work. I'd find the deals, and then I'd find the money, and I'd buy them, and I'd rent them out. I did that for 13 years. But then, anyways, we've been in business 2 months. The first month was kind of slow getting everything going. But now we have a sales team. Second month blew up. We got like 20 contracts right now. Um, and I got a dispo manager finally because I found out it's you could acquire all the contracts you want, but then you got to sell them.
Mhm.
And I got a few pretty good salespeople. So this the last 2 days. I mean, we got three contracts alone, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's badass, man. So I know a lot of people start. I mean, it takes a while to get going. And obviously, you were doing real estate for a long time before that. But besides that, I mean, besides having all the experience and from you had from your different roles and being in real estate for as long as you have, what would you attribute to having so much success so quickly?
So don't get me wrong, I pay a lot of money for coaching every month. So
Mhm.
most of the ideas that I have aren't my genius. I just listen to what I'm told. I pay a lot of money every month for multiple coaches that do a lot of transactions in one way or another, whether it's multifamily investing or whether it's wholesaling. So they're pretty much help me with my blueprint and say, hey, you're screwing up here, do this, market this way. So I think that's what's attributing to the accelerated growth,
Mhm.
by getting handheld, a little bit.
Yeah. No, I think that's huge, man. If you can learn from someone else's experience, it's definitely better than learning from your own. What how would you recommend? As I know you're a huge proponent of coaching and having the right mentors. How would you recommend if someone's looking for mentors or looking for coaches if they go about that, and how do they vet them and pick the right ones?
I've been scoffed at when I've given this advice by certain people, but it's just my opinion, right? It doesn't
Mhm.
right, man. I would, in a heartbeat, if I knew back then what I know now, right? Like um, I would take out a freaking loan to hire the best coach there is, like
Mhm.
best coach. I don't give a crap because I mean the growth is just exponential what you could do on your own. So my advice would be interview a ton of people, get references, find out who is the best at what you want to do, and then meet with them and make sure you jive with their personality because that's huge
Mm.
too. And then figure the money out and just pay it. And that's it.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're getting a return on investment, like why wouldn't you keep doing it?
Well, and relationship capital,
Mhm.
like a lot of people don't put stock in the people that you get exposed to by being around high level people. Well, they got high level friends,
Mhm.
and then you're doing high level deals or maybe not at the time, but you're getting exposed to a lot of awesome stuff.
Right. Yeah, yeah, you really can't put like a dollar on that.
Big time. Yeah, man. And I see questions pop up too. I don't know if you want me to answer those.
Yeah, we'll get to them, the Q&A portion in a second. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, keep dropping them. We'll get to all of them shortly once we get over to the Q&A portion. But no, I think that's great advice, man. I know you're doing a lot of marketing too. You want to kind of run us through what kind of marketing you guys have been doing or how you guys have been getting these deals under contract?
Yeah, so whenever I was buying originally, like I said, I would just pull list source lists, $100, and I'd literally call them all, and I'd always land a deal. I mean, I'd have to call probably 1,000 people, however long that took. I wasn't in a hurry. I had the money. I was making good money in oil and gas, and it's the same principles we do now. Fast forward, now I started out with a VA kind of dialing, and then we use REI Mail, and we use PPC like Lead Zolo for that. But the biggest catalyst to getting the deals was REI Mail for us,
Mm,
and it was actually a certain dollar amount. I realized when you spend a little, you get a little, but when you
mhm.
spend a lot, you get a lot, and it's kind of a scary thing to bite off. But I that's another one of those things like coaching. Like I recommend, like it is what it is. You got to do it, and you got to figure out how to do it for at least 3 months on a maybe not like to where you're going to go bankrupt, but on a big scale somehow. And I think it
Yeah.
would pay off if you have the skills. If you don't have the
Mhm.
skills, I think, partnering is the route to go. But if you've got the skills and you can get the leads are the lifeline of every business. If you've got all the leads and you've got the skills and you got the business.
Mhm. 100%. Yeah, that's really all about marketing. I mean, if you have leads coming in, it's so much easier. There's just so much less effort and so much less grinding. You just have people that want to talk to you, that are reaching out to you, as opposed to turning, someone that doesn't want to fucking talk to you into them selling your house.
Yeah, dude, like direct calling and texting. The places for that. There's deals there.
Mhm.
And I think what I'm learning, is the intention of the lead is super important. So
Right.
if they've got to fill a form out like PPC, uh,
Mhm.
or if they've got to call you, the game is so much different. It's like, hey, Travis, I want to sell my house. It's like, what? For real? Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, it really is. And no, I 100% agree. Going all into marketing. I mean, I don't know how many times like when I was first starting out, I like bet my rent money or bet, all my money on marketing, and it pays off. I go back through all my numbers, and like the months I do the best is when I spent the most money in marketing. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
funny how that works.
Yeah.
But that's awesome, man. So yeah, I know you got you've been hiring too, and a good bunch. You mentioned your dispo manager. How many people do you have with you now in the company?
So we've got a dispo manager, and we've got about 10 people that come on our sales calls every day. They're not, a lot of them are learning. So
Hmm.
would say we've got, I would say we've got about 4 salespeople actively doing deals right now. And when I say actively, in a non-exaggerating term, one's done 12 deals on his own. No real estate experience prior, and
Hmm.
that's he's an anomaly, right? But anyway, he's done 12 on contracts on his own. Hasn't closed 12, but done 12 contracts on his own. And then the other guy, super sharp guy from the corporate world. I'm not name dropping because these guys got some jobs too, right? They're
Hmm.
doing the same thing we were doing. But he's starting to lock some stuff up too. I'm of course locking stuff up as well. I'm a
Hmm.
sales guy too. I mean that's my strength. And then what I started doing is building teams under these guys. So their mentees under them are pretty close to locking up some deals. So,
Nice.
so I would say 4 solid, and then the
Mhm.
rest are kind of learning.
Mhm.
They're getting on calls.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say, oh, I've got 10 salespeople. It's not accurate. I've really got like 4 sellers
Mhm.
right now, plus me.
That's badass, man. So when you mentioned the sales calls, so do you want to run us through what you do with your sales calls?
Yeah, so every day from 5 to 6 p.m., no matter what, I make sure I'm there because consistency is key, right? And
Right.
we have them every day. We get live in the box. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people hop right off. I put it on
Yeah.
my calendar, and they're like, "Oh, I want to learn real estate." And they get on there, they're like, "Screw this, we are not making." And I see you do this, live calls, but it's just like, "Hey, who wants this lead?" And we'll pull up. We use RPR,
Mhm.
show us the AVM of the property, show us the taxes. What I'll do is I'll pull it up. I lead the meeting most of the time. I'll say, hey, look, here's the price of the home. Here's the AVM or projected AVM. Sometimes they're not always 100% accurate. Here's the address. Here's where it's at. We'll scroll down. It's a 1950s home. Okay, what do we know about 1950s homes, right? I'll ask them. Okay, well, it might need a plumbing reroute if it hasn't been done. Electrical box might need to be updated. Wood from 70 years ago is probably a little rotted, right? So
Mhm.
we just go through that with every seller live, and we're all learning and critiquing each other. I even asked them like, "What would you have done different if you were me? I mean, maybe I screwed up. I don't know everybody."
Yeah.
And we just kick it around like that. I see everybody just really improving, man. And the biggest thing lately has been creative finance, and
Mhm.
I have a background in that. I was a loan officer at one time before you had to have a license when I was like 18, and I got a lot of education out of that. And anyway, I've been teaching them creative finance. And hey, if you can't lock this thing up at these numbers, well, first walk your seller through why you got to these numbers was a big hurdle, right? Instead of just,
Mhm.
hey, I'm off you half price, take it, leave it. Um,
Mhm.
and then if they don't want it, trying to really figure out what's advantageous for the seller and the buyer, and work out that way, especially with creative finance. Like, hey, I'll give you retail value, but on terms, right? So anyway, long story. Sorry, I went down a rabbit hole, but every day we're just running through all these scenarios, and they're live scenarios, so they're real. They're not like a textbook.
Yeah. No, I love that, man. It's badass. So is that just for your sales guys, or other people can hop into those too?
Everybody could hop in. I encourage everybody to hop in. I even have like pretty well known wholesalers hop in all the time. They're like, I just want to see what you're talking about, what you're
Yeah, yeah.
doing. I'm
That's
like,
what I was thinking. I'm like, I want to check it out. It sounds dope.
yeah, they hop in, and then I'm like, hey, jump on a call because as well as I do, we all have our different styles,
Mhm.
and some people like just people jive different with different people.
Mhm.
Like they might like you and not me, or me and not you, whatever.
Right.
And it's cool, I think, for everybody to hear that and hear different styles and different dynamics. And I think we can all learn from that. But I mean, just to be real, my main intention for people jumping on the outside too, besides, good wholesalers is awesome. It trains
Mhm.
everybody, but I'm recruiting, right?
Yeah.
Hey, come learn. If you like it, if you get in the hot seat, we trust you. I'm going to give you CRM credentials and then
Mhm.
make some money.
Yeah. I love that, man. No, that's a great idea.
Yep.
How'd you come up with that?
One of my mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my mentors, they're like, "Hey, bro," and I wouldn't have done it because I didn't
Mm,
know. You don't know what you don't know. He's like, "Hey, leave your calendar open from 3 to 5 p.m. every day, right?
yeah.
And leave it open. Tell people you want to talk about real estate." I do that every day. I'm like, "Hey, my calendar's open. Come in." And then it's like, "Hey, are you training your people?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, like we talk. Are you training them every day?" No, every day. If you don't train them
Mm,
every day, you're gonna suck. I was like, okay, cool. So what I did is I was like, all right, I got these calls from 3 to 5. So then I'll start having 5 to 6. So, you know, and that's what we do every day. We do. So yeah, it was a mentor. Like I said, a coach will take you a long way.
yeah. No, I love that, man. That makes a lot of sense. So I know you got some exciting things coming up. You got the big events out in November.
Yeah, November 17th, I rented out Apex headquarters. I'm gonna have a pretty badass deal. Me and you got to talk because see if you could get on one of those. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, in a nutshell, I'll tell you what's on my brain. I'm solidifying everything. I mean, the venue's locked up. That's paid for. Like
Mhm.
everything's locked up. It's been so crazy right now with business. I need to get on my marketing out. But in a nutshell, what it's going to look like is I'm going to have a big fitness guru come up at the beginning because I'm into fitness. He's going to get everybody hyped. This Jack dude, really good mentality. And then got a buddy that's a commercial wholesaler. It's a friend of both of ours. He's going to come on and tell about these crazy numbers he's doing and drop some bombs. It's just going to be
Yeah.
all info. And then my thinking is maybe I'll come on tell my story since it's my event, and,
Hmm.
and then right after that during lunch, I'm wanting I want to do like a some sort of calling live. You know, I'm not gonna
Hmm.
call it Closer Olympics. I don't want to get in trouble. Like I'm
Yeah.
but like, something like that. But it's gonna go like that during the day, and I just want
Hmm.
people to like leave there and be like, damn, like we really learned some stuff today.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. Nah, it's gonna be a cool event. So
Yeah.
what are the dates again?
November 17th, and
17. Nice. Are you
yeah,
already selling tickets now or no?
not yet. I'm
Yeah.
going to next week. I haven't even made a promo. I haven't done anything besides a post.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
the way I locked it up, because before I locked the venue up, 'cause those things aren't cheap, and
No.
I was like, "Man, you know what? Let me see if anybody would even be interested." So I put a
Hmm.
Facebook post. I'm like, "Hey, what if I had an event and I had a few hundred people?" Like, yeah. I was like, "All right, cool, let's do it."
Hmm. That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's a lot of work, man, doing the events. Like, I was like, oh, it'll be fun. Then it's like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then you got to get people there, and you got to get the speakers there, and you got to fucking, yeah, it's a lot. I'm lucky I have Bree because yeah, she helps
Well,
manage
I
all the
hired their
stuff, and I'm
team.
not organized. You got a team help you?
Yeah, I
Nice.
hired their team. I
Hmm.
didn't just do the venue. I was like, "Hey, like I got no clue what I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie." And so I got the whole team. I got their media. I got their people. So all I really got to do show up, make sure I do okay on my speech,
Hmm.
and talk to everybody. So
Nice, man. Nah, that's exciting, man. I'm super excited for you. But awesome, man. So just a couple more questions. So if anyone else has any questions they wants to answer, we're going to be getting to that Q&A portion soon. So just drop them in the comments. So, man, I know you're, we could probably answer that first question too or waiting. So I know Frank asked, what markets are you in?
So I am in Corpus Christi and San Antonio. I've recently kind of went on the outskirts of San Antonio more
Mhm.
because San Antonio was just too competitive.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even say competitive with wholesalers. I would say
Mhm.
with freaking sellers.
Yeah.
Like I mean, a straight up $200,000 house, they want 300,000 for it.
Yeah.
And that sounds like, man, the cost per lead was just too much.
Mhm.
I like being in small towns. We just started hitting up the valley too. Looks like there might be some good stuff there for us, for our style. We don't like the fancy stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, man, San Antonio's rough, man. Yeah, like got one of the mailers. He's like, I got like 8 people coming to look at the house tomorrow. If you want to come too, and be number 9. I'm like, fucking no, not really, bro. Like, let's make a deal now. But yeah, no, it's rough, man. Yeah, definitely the outskirts and Corpus. It's a lot nicer when it's like, oh, you're the only person calling me.
yeah, yeah.
But
We were marketing the Canyon Lake, and I said, screw that. Like, dude,
yeah,
that was worse than San Antonio.
really, okay, yeah. I know New Braunfels is weird. Like, no, it's just not weird, but yeah, it's super competitive too. And everyone's like, fuck you, they want $1 million, and I'm like, yeah, I
Unless
haven't.
unless you're like into mobile homes, Canyon
Mhm.
Lake, right?
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Do you find that? 'Cause I know you do a lot of mobile home stuff too. Do you find that's less competitive? There's less people contacting those people?
Yeah, I gotta be careful because like I know how to make money with mobile homes, and I can
Mhm.
like just do that really, but it would just be like it's a whole nother business. And
Mhm.
I am getting my license right now, my mobile home dealer's license. I've already taken the test and the fingerprints, all that stuff. But that's just so that I can put all the stuff that I have under on notes because you can only do like 2 a year if you're not licensed.
Mhm.
So I wanna transition from landlord to more of just holding the notes on them eventually. But to answer your question on mobile homes, like, man, anybody on here go make like 5 grand right now on a mobile home. Like
Mhm.
literally go to Facebook Marketplace, find a mobile home like 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever, and you could just make a low. It sounds horrible. You're like, oh, try to make a low ball offers. Go make low ball offers on them, like
Mhm.
literally, and then they say yes, cool, go buy it, put it right back on there. And I've literally used to go pick up a title and go meet somebody at the coffee shop from there. It was like so much easier than houses. It's a lot less of a fee, but make like 3 to 5 grand in like an hour.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
That's badass. So you just buying, low, selling high?
yeah. And then even if you wanted like mailbox money, drip money,
Mhm.
you go put it in a lot. You don't even have to own the lot. Just pay a little lot rent or something, but go put it on the lot. I mean, these things got to be livable. You can't go put somebody in,
Right, yeah.
but you can find them and they're really cheap to rehab. It's not like a house.
Mhm.
You put a couple thousand in a mobile home, like you probably shine it up pretty good. But you can put these things on a note, and with like good interest and a good payment that's advantageous for both people. It might be somebody that doesn't have like really good credit, but they got a lot of money and they have a good trade and they make a lot of cash, and they're like, hell yeah, we'll buy this from you for you bought it for 5, we'll buy it from you for 15, 20,000, 10%
Mhm.
interest or whatever. Don't like break usury laws or nothing, but
Yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, definitely don't wanna do that. But, so I know you have so how many doors you at now? I know you have the parks and you have a bunch of rentals.
like 75, I'm at 75.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's badass, man.
I stopped, my coach I had a problem. So,
Mhm.
I would just, like, close on crap, and it sounds cool, right? But when you have a lot of vacancies, it's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't have any vacancies, but I was getting to the point where I would just buy stuff and it would sit there, and
Mhm.
I wouldn't get to it because 'cause I'd have so much in a line, and then, like, those holding costs just add up. And when I hired this one coach a while back, he's like, "Bro, you gotta clean this crap up. This is crazy. Like, stop buying." And we came up with a plan to like stack a bunch of capital, which was really a big thing for the wholesaling to build it out. Like start stacking a bunch of capital. And my thing is mobile homes, and I do get really good returns. I know how to build the infrastructure and the parks and all that. So what I'm gonna do is when I can make a few million bucks doing this, whenever that is, I'm going to build a park that's gonna be different than another park. It's gonna be I think I've put these online a few times. People out there are cool, but like, and me and you've talked about it, but these fourplex units.
Mhm.
I want 100 plus of those doors, and do that. It's just going to cost me a little bit, so I'm really just stacking cash right now, and I'm not buying. I'm even I've sold some of my non-performers, so just
Mhm.
cleaned up some stuff there. But yeah, I'm at 75 right now.
Nice, man. I love that. Yeah, I know we talked about that a bit on the hike, man. It's a super cool goal you have there. Do you kinda wanna dive into that a bit more and talk about that, or is that still under wraps?
Yeah, no, we can talk about it. I just gotta get some cheap land. So, everything's acquisitions in real estate, right? You make money when you buy, when you build, and I gotta get some land that makes sense. I like to do it outside of San Antonio. My market for that's around the Divine area, south of San Antonio. I'm betting my horse on that area, all down there, just because
Yeah.
people love it. I literally have no vacancies,
Mhm.
and I got a lot of doors down there. So anyway, gonna get like 20 acres and build this thing, and whenever I can. So 100 plus doors, fourplex units. I think I'll fill them up really quick. People need affordable housing. They want affordable housing. People are if what I've noticed a trend is people are consolidating things and moving into smaller spaces. Tiny homes are super lucrative too, which I have a park full of those. People go crazy over them. It's like it's one bed, one bath, bro. Hell yeah, we want it. We love
Mhm.
it. So
Yeah. No, there's a huge need and demand for it now, and yeah, especially as houses get more and more expensive, man. But I love that, man. That's super exciting. I'm definitely excited to watch that, the growth of that dream and see that come into reality, man.
hell yeah, thanks.
But sweet deal, man. So let's kind of want to go back into. I know you're saying doing all the different kinds of marketing. Do you know like what your like average like cost per lead is, or like cost per conversion with the lead Zolo and with the mailers?
Yeah. So San Antonio was ridiculous.
Hmm.
It was very ridiculous. I think we were spending, I would say, like $1,500 a lead
Damn.
in Antonio. But so before, like, we wouldn't get near as many because we have a whole on like a VA team that calls them,
Hmm.
and we don't get them unless they say, hey, we really want to sell. So I'm not talking about like inbound calls, like
Right.
just leads. I'm talking about leads. So yeah, like $1,500, and for just somebody that's interested.
Yeah.
Lead Zolo is about $300 a lead. But so I'll give you actual data on that. Is I spent, let's see, I spent about 8 grand testing out Lead Zolo, and I made 19 grand in the last 2 months.
Damn.
So that wasn't too bad,
Yeah.
And Lead Zolo is funny because you got to get your credit card, and
Hmm.
every time somebody, and you do the math on that, but that was pretty accurate numbers. But every time somebody fills out that form on YouTube, says, "Hey, Travis, I want to buy your house fast," whatever. They fill it out, and your card gets hit 150 bucks. And then
Hmm.
sometimes in a day, you're like, "Damn!" Like it like hit like 10 times one day. I was like, "Oh god!" Like hopefully one of these are good.
Yeah.
But I like PPC, and the only PPC I really use is Lead Solo. I haven't really had time to explore any other options.
Hmm.
REI and mail down south, our leads are much cheaper.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know what the dollar amount is on that, but I mean, we're doing our best deals are REI and mail outside of the big cities.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm like, yeah, I think my numbers are probably pretty similar for San Antonio for the last mail campaign we did. Cause I got like maybe like one or two like solid ones. We spent like $1,500 and like they're kind of solid, but it's still, but we'll see.
yeah, no, I did the math on that one.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was like, this is stupid, but on the
Mhm.
ones they're pretty cheap down south.
Nice.
Just have to do the math.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, I think it's really just finding the right market and right marketing channels for you. So do you like so do you guys do anything else besides that right now, or those are the two main ones?
That's it, man. We
Mhm.
just, we just started that text campaign with your software.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, we haven't sent it out yet. So hopefully we get
Yeah.
something out of that. But that's going to be pretty cheap regardless.
Yeah, yeah, super expensive. Yeah, I think you guys will be able to turn a lot of those ones into deals now. Yeah, super excited seeing that was approved. So I think it's fucking pain in the ass now. And yesterday was the cutoff too. They won't let anyone send like any messages if you don't get like approved.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, that's I was super excited to see we finally got approval for that.
Well, and I have a dialer, and I had her calling like cold,
Mhm.
and then my mentor was like, "Hey, bro," he's going through my CRM. He's like, "It's been like a week since you talked to like these 20 people. What's up?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"Having a time. We got so many leads." And now he's like, "Bull crap." And he's like, "Go hire another VA." And then I got to thinking about it. I started looking at how many deals we were closing from my VA calling cold list.
Mhm.
Zero. We
Yeah.
ain't closed, we ain't closing any. And I was like, and she's really good. Like she
Mhm.
gets detailed information. People don't hang up on her. She's like the sweetest person. And they just, but anyway, I put her on REI to
Mhm.
follow up on them. Freaking killer, like stone cold killer. But that's another thing with like outside set of eyes,
Mhm.
or being like, hey, bro, like you're being an idiot. So we just made that transition 2 days ago, and we've already turned some cold leads really hot. So I'm thinking using the dialer with more of a follow up rather
Mhm.
than just cold dialing is going to have a better ROI. But I'll have to keep you updated on that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, I think just really just touching people as many ways as you can and as quickly and as often as you can,
Yeah.
always helps. But no, that's a great point. Having that outside perspective because it's it's kind of hard to see the whole picture when you're the one painting it and you're in it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's so stressful. Maybe you try and do it on your own and be like, what do I need to do here? What do I do here? And the day's already passed and you start tomorrow. It's like I really just get on the phone and be like, hey, like, what do you think? Like, here's where I'm
Mhm.
at. What do you think I should do?
Yeah. No, that's great, man. So how do you manage everything? Like, do you have like any time management like apps or things that you do to like schedule your day? Because I know you're someone who has a lot going on and it seems like you do it all pretty well.
I don't, and I was actually, I think I made a post about this in Apex the other day. I said, somebody,
Mhm.
I feel like I do pretty well inherently. Like I don't watch TV. I don't do that stuff. I get up at 4:45 every morning. Pretty religiously. I go to Gold's Gym, and I do sauna after that, and like I really don't hit the office until like 10 a.m. Really,
Mhm.
like it's really just workout. I read. I meditate. I get all me done.
Mhm.
Like I'm hitting the office at 10, and then it's just like go time, and I've already made my the day before, I usually make my list of
Mm.
everything. So I guess, yeah, you could say I have a list and I just hammer it. And then
Mhm.
when I'm done with my list, then I put on my sales hat. And then, I start selling. And then obviously I'm checking on my team in between there. But having a good dispo manager has opened up a lot of more time and opportunity for me to do what I'm better at is sales.
100%. Yeah, I always tell people when they're new, like, get either get help if you have somebody who can help and get on that or JV or just do whatever. Just focus on the one thing you already learned because it's so easy, especially when I first started. Even now, sometimes we get a deal and then you just stop doing all the acquisition stuff and you're just focused on moving the deal. And then it's like, oh, fuck. And then you're stopping and starting and you got to start over again from scratch and on acquisitions and you probably drop the ball on people you're supposed to follow up with and
Yeah, dude.
it's
But
a whole other beast.
yeah, as far as time management, literally like that, that's all the way up until my calendar time. So I
Mhm.
would say like 10 to 3. It's clockwork, I guess, 10 to 3 and then 3 to 5. I usually have calls with people and I'm just pouring into them, whatever they got. And then sometimes there's ballers that come on there that like, there's like, I just want to meet you, man. And I get to learn, I'm there like,
Mhm.
from like people that are doing badass things. So it's pretty cool. And then 5 to 6, I got my sales calling at 6. I'm probably it's about 6 to 8. I'm back on acquisitions, and then my day usually ends about 8 p.m. The work day.
Yeah. No, that's badass, man. So what do you do? Like how big is that task list that you do the night before? Like how many things you usually put on there?
I would say there's probably about 20 things on there, usually like high level things.
Hmm.
Um, I'm actually looking. I got a good prospect right now, but I'm looking for an executive assistant right now. Um, so that's going to help out a lot too, because I still have some tasks like, I own a lot of properties too, but I have people that manage those, and then I have people that manage my projects. But still, you get calls from those people every now and then, so I need to even filter that because like
Mm.
when my energy goes there, then I'm gone. I'm there.
Right.
So I'm trying to filter that. And then even like today, the stupidest thing took 2 hours, derailed me 2 hours. And I've got mortgage payments to all my lenders, for all my properties. No problem. Usually I go to Wells Fargo and I send out my wires. And
Hmm.
Wells Fargo's down. I live 30 minutes from Wells Fargo.
Mm.
And I was like, and I'm never late. I've never been late on paying anybody. And I'm stressed. And I'm like, damn, I gotta go to Wells Fargo. But anyway, when I get my admin assistant, like that's gonna take care of that kind of
Right.
those kind of emergencies, I guess. So
Hmm. Yeah. No, I feel that's a great point. So I feel like little things can just pop up and just end up derailing your whole day. And
yeah, dude, energy's energy, and like you only got so much. Everybody's only got so much, and you're done.
yeah, that makes sense, man. So you do anything like to unwind or like de-stress, or you just always on, always going?
I think my workout time and my
Mhm.
like meditation time, my sauna time. I think if I didn't take the time in the mornings,
Mm.
probably be pretty bad off. But that seems like my unwind time. It's usually like I know people are like, oh, I listen to books and podcasts. Well, like while I'm working out, hell no, I'm jamming. Like I'm
Yeah.
jamming out, like I'm enjoying myself,
Mm.
and so like really, I'm like on a playground in the morning. So
Nice. I love that, man. So, yes, yeah, if anyone has any other questions, make sure to drop them in the comments. We'll make sure we get them answered for you guys. So, we're going to switch over to the Q&A portion. So Frank, yeah, he asked what market are you in? You already went over that. Now, do you ever think of doing anything virtual, or you're just going to stick in the markets that you know?
I did think about virtually, but my coaches and mentors kind of derailed that plan.
Hmm.
I started buying PPC out where I have virtual salespeople,
Hmm.
but I've local too. And I was like, man, I'm gonna get PPC out local to them, and then they can go out there. And it seemed like a cool idea because I'm
Hmm.
teaching them and it's local. But they're like, man, stay where you're at, get good where you're at, squeeze all the juice out where you're at,
Yeah.
and then go. I'm like, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And we got Jamie LeBlanc hopped on. He said, "What's up? What's up, Jamie? Thanks
Up,
for hopping on,
Jamie.
bro."
Jamie's awesome, man. He's killing it out there in Beaumont.
Yeah. No, he's a good dude. Yeah, he's going to be out here in our neck of the woods 2 weeks from now. Or yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, he's going to be at Wholesaling Live.
Badass.
Yeah. You going to make it?
I hope so. I need to. I need to take you up on that offer.
Yeah, man. Promo code Syndicate, man. It's like $40 or something for a ticket.
Hell yeah! I just got to
But
do it.
yeah, no, that'd be a cool event, man. I'm excited for that one. Yeah, so with that event, we got your event at the end of the year. So I'm hoping to do one more too before the end of the year. So
That and just to kind of throw it out there too. We got that, and you're on it all the time too.
Mhm.
That mastermind on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Yeah, I love the mastermind calls, man. They're dope.
Yeah, like free mastermind on Wednesdays. There's no pitches, no gimmicks, and like that's for real. People are like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, yeah, we usually have like 25 to 35 people show up. We had like 50 one time, but
Damn.
that's out of the ordinary. So yeah, I mean, we just literally what I do is if they've been in there before, I introduce them. If they haven't, I have them introduce themselves, and then I usually can pick who are the experts and what in there. I pick them out. Hey, what's going on in the market? What do you think? Blah blah. Pick the new people you haven't been in here. What questions do you have? And then anybody else got anything? And everybody's got something to add. Usually, I try to keep it at an hour, and we usually walk out of there networked and a little more knowledgeable than we were when we got there. So
Yeah, no, I definitely recommend checking it out. Yeah, I love how you structure it, and I feel like how you get everybody included and involved. So I feel like usually a lot of like Zoom calls, meetings like that, there's like a couple people that are talking, and there's other people with their cameras off and just being silent. And I feel like 90% of people always get their cameras on, even if they don't, they're still you get them engaged and talking. And yeah, they do a really good job with it, man.
thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like jumping on. I mean, of course, when you jump on things to learn, you learn. But a lot of times, like you said, you're on there to see one person, and
Hmm.
here it's just like it's a network, it's a community. And I was never a fan of. I think REI, like RIAs, are awesome,
Hmm.
but I just think like these days, there's a lot of virtual stuff we could do and get a lot of things done. And those are once a month. This is 4 times a month. So because
Yeah.
we're virtual,
Hmm.
so.
Yeah, I'm 100%. Yeah, Jamie just said Wednesday mastermind is great networking. The sales calls are dope too. Need to start hopping on more.
Hell yeah, yeah. Jamie's been on there too. So yeah, Kai, jump on anytime. You'll think it's cool, man. Like
Yeah, no, let's check it out. See what you guys are doing.
really cool culture.
So how many people do you usually have on the sales calls? You said like 5 or 6, said or?
We got like 10 to 15.
Oh, nice.
Usually jump on there a lot of times. That's
Is
not
that-
who's on the
Mhm.
sales team, but like you get.
Yeah, some other people hopping in too. Nice. So is everybody making calls at once, or how's that work?
It's usually uh,
Mhm.
one person at a time. Of course,
Oh, nice. Everybody just watches you.
yeah, everybody watches you and they're listening,
Yeah.
and so we're laughing half the time because something stupid's going on, but
Mhm.
we're all on mute. And then they get off and we talk about it. Hey, what could we have done different? Or hell yeah, good job, or let's write it up. Or, I might even send a message to my assistant. Hey, write it up. And this is
Yeah.
the time.
That's badass. Yeah, I love that, man. I like having the pressure on me and like people watching stuff. Some people, like you said, like don't like it. Was that Mike Lannis was on? He's talking about that wholesaling live last year. They have everybody in the audience make calls. So it's like 1,000 people that are making calls. And so they had like security at the door. They're like, he's like, for some reason, everybody wants to go to the bathroom or wants to leave when it's time to make calls. So they had like security, like, nah, you can't leave. You guys make calls right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think everybody should hop on the phone. I mean,
Mhm.
after you see what's up, see what's going on and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
no,
I say it's like, it's nobody likes it. Nobody likes to make calls and like put yourself out there. And it's like, but it's like doing shit you're afraid of. It's like, where, the success on the other side of doing that. And I hear people like, oh, I couldn't do that. Or, I'm not that type of person. I'm like, fuck you. You're not. Like, just fucking
yeah.
do it.
Yeah. What do I say? Just
Yeah.
talk to
Yeah. Read the script, you know?
him.
Yeah, yeah, Jamie said, "I have a fear of the spotlight," LOL.
Yeah. That's all. I call him out every Wednesday too. I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
hey Jamie, what's up in wholesaling right
That's too funny. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's a lot of fun. Hope to do this again soon. What's the best way for people to connect with you online or get in touch with you?
Facebook, Travis Wells. You can DM me on there. I have Instagram too, Travis Clay Wells. I got YouTube. I don't know what it is. Somebody does it for me. We've got a podcast, Property Profits, which your lovely wife kills it, putting that together for me. And yeah, man,
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you've been killing it with the podcast, man. You've had some fucking badass guests recently, man.
thanks, dude. Yeah, Ryan killed it last week. I had Bobby Castro last night. Um, Fal Bozzi was on there the other week. He's like got $50 million in Airbnbs. Like
Damn.
we got some like big hitters, and they're still coming. So we're just very fortunate. I got some really big hitters on in the pipeline, but I haven't named
Mhm.
names yet because like I don't know dates for them. But it's just still rolling. We're getting very fortunate that it's gaining a little traction, and people are like, okay, cool. Like you had some really cool people on here. Like we might want to join this thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely gets easier once you have that track record. And yeah, man, I highly recommend checking out his podcast, man. He's killing it.
Thanks, dude.
But awesome, brother. Well, yeah, any final thoughts you want to share with people or need new people to wholesale and they're just getting started?
Yeah, just getting started. I would like you said earlier, like Kai, JV or partner with somebody if you don't have the skills to quite do it on your own. If you do have the skills and you're not doing it and you don't have the leads, figure out how to pay for the leads
Mm,
and then get to crushing it. So that I think it's the biggest thing that holds people back is fear of paying for the leads. Gotta have leads.
mm. Yeah, 100%, man. It is scary. You put your money out there, especially if you don't have it. And it's like, fuck, man, hopefully this works. Hopefully it works. But it works as long as you do the work.
Like, how do you pay for the leads? I don't have the money. I mean, you got to do it. Like nobody's got it before they do it.
Mhm.
It's like I don't know. Every big high level coach I ever hired, I was like, how am I gonna pay for this? I'm like, I don't give a crap. Figure it out.
Mm.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah. No, that's really the best attitude to have, man. Just figure it out. I've had people that struggle the most are the ones that try to figure out everything before they do anything, and they just get stuck in that like analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
But awesome, brother. Well, I appreciate you hopping on. I appreciate everybody else for hopping on and dropping comments and listening. And yeah, definitely go check out all the cool stuff Travis is doing and make sure you check out his podcast.
Thanks, man. Have a good